Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we're tackling a visual puzzle called Determine Whether Matrix Can Be Obtained by Rotation. Let's break it down and see how to solve it. Okay, so we are given two square grids of numbers, which we'll call the starting matrix and the target matrix. Both grids are filled with just zeros and ones. Our job is to figure out if we can take the starting matrix, spin it clockwise by 90 degrees a few times, and have it perfectly match the target matrix. If we can, we say true. If it's impossible, we say false. So, breaking it down simply, we have a starting state and a desired end state. We are only allowed one specific move, rotating the entire grid clockwise by exactly 90 degrees. We want to know if some combination of these rotations will get us to the finish line. Here's the most important realization for this problem. Think about a physical square piece of paper. If you turn it 90 degrees 4 times, you are right back to where you started. That means there are really only 4 possible states the matrix can be in. We don't have to keep spinning it forever, we just check those 4 positions. Let's look at a quick example. Imagine a 2x2 grid. The top row has a 0, then a 1. If we imagine picking that grid up and turning it 90 degrees to the right, that 0 on the top left swings over to the top right. The 1 on the top right swings down to the bottom right. If we do that just once, it perfectly matches the target matrix shown here. So for this example, the answer is true. Now, you might wonder, what if the starting grid and the target grid are already identical right out of the box? Do we need a special check for 0 rotations? Actually, no, because spinning it 4 times puts it right back into its original layout. If we just blindly spin and check 4 times, that 4th check will perfectly handle the scenario where 0 rotations were needed. It's a nice little trick that keeps our code clean. Just a quick heads up, we'll be walking through the logic and solution using Python first, because it's super readable, but don't worry if that's not your main language. I'll be providing the full, complete code for Java, C++, and JavaScript towards the end of the video. If you just want to grab the code right now, you can find it on my website, leetcodeunlock.com, link is in the description. So the strategy the editorial gives us is called simulating the rotation. It's exactly what it sounds like. We are going to write code that actually shifts the numbers around to represent a 90-degree turn. To save memory, we'll do this in place, meaning we rearrange the numbers within the existing grid rather than building a brand new one. We'll turn it, check if it matches, turn it again, check if it matches, up to 4 times. Alright, here is the full Python code for this approach. I know that big block of variables in the middle looks a bit intimidating, but don't worry, we are going to break down exactly what it's doing over the next few slides. If you want to test this code out yourself without retyping it, you can go to the leetcodeunlocked.com/link in the description, so you can copy the code that is shown and explained in this video. Now getting back to the explanation, let's pull the code apart. First, we figure out the size of our grid, which we call n. Then we start a loop that will run exactly 4 times. Inside this loop, we will eventually do the spinning. Right after the spin finishes, we check. Is our grid now identical to the target grid? If yes, boom, we return true. If this loop runs all 4 times and never finds a match, it means it's impossible, so we drop down to the bottom and return false. Now for the tricky part, the actual rotation. Imagine the grid is made of concentric rings, like an onion. The outer loops use I and j to walk through these rings. For every spot we look at, we grab 4 coordinates, the top left, the bottom right, and the top right. We then swap their values in a circle. The top left gets the value from the bottom left gets the bottom right, and so on. This neatly rotates one little piece of the ring clockwise. Code can be hard to visualize just by looking at it, so let's run a simple 2x2 example through it. When we are at the very first spot, position 0, 0, the code calculates the other 3 corners based on the grid size. It grabs the number from the bottom left and moves it to the top left. It grabs the bottom right and moves it to the bottom left, shifting everything clockwise in one single smooth motion. By doing this for the whole ring, the entire matrix rotates perfectly. We will look at the performance of this in just a second, but first I want to quickly say why this channel looks and sounds the way it does. You can probably tell this is narrated by AI. I actually built this for myself so I could generate clear, instant explanations the moment a daily problem drops to help myself learn. It helps me study faster, and I upload them here in case they help you too. I don't put ads in these videos and I don't take any sponsorships. Anyway, let's get back to the video. Let's talk about efficiency. For time complexity, it is big O of n squared, where n is the length of one side of the grid. Why? Because the grid has n squared total items in it. We touch every item to rotate it, and we might do this up to 4 times. 4 times n squared just simplifies to big O of n squared. For space complexity, it is extremely efficient. It's big O of 1. Because we do that clever 4-way swap in place, we don't need to allocate memory for a second copy of the grid. Alright, that covers the Python solution. As promised, here are the full solutions for Java, C++, and JavaScript. Instead of pausing and typing these out, you can just go to leetcodeunlocked.com via the link in the description to copy and paste the exact code directly. Here is the full solution in Java. We use a temporary variable here to help us perform that 4-way swap, and we use arrays.deep equals to easily check if the grids match. Next up, here is the C++ version. Very similar logic, just using C++ vectors. The double equals sign works great here for comparing the two vectors directly. And finally, here is the solution in JavaScript. We have to write a quick little helper function to compare the two arrays, since JavaScript doesn't compare nested arrays directly with a simple equals sign, but the rotation logic is exactly the same. So let's wrap it up. The main takeaways here are that spinning a square only has 4 unique outcomes, so we can just simulate the process. And by swapping the numbers in place, ring by ring, we keep our memory footprint incredibly small. Before we finish up, I want to mention I have another channel called Leetcode Unlocked. I'm on a mission to eventually post a solution for literally every single Leetcode problem on the platform. If you want to study problems outside of just the daily challenge, make sure to check it out. If you want to help support that goal of covering every problem, you can donate at buymeaboba.com/LeetCodeDaily. Also, please make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. I post the daily Leetcode problem as soon as it comes out so you can get your streak done early. Keep coding, and I'll catch you in the next one.